Welcome into episode 159. I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt, and this is Gracefully and Frankly. And I don't know how to say that in Spanish, but how's Mexico treating you, Erin?
Oh, very well, very well. But I have to say, Lisa, that 8 days into the new year, wouldn't you know it, I slept on the 7-day trial period before turning it down. So here we are, 2026, we're signed up.
No returns. Well, do you really want to go back to the previous year anyway? I mean, things can only go up. Yeah.
You have come up with a motto for 2026 that I think is going to serve not only you, but I think all of us, if we can just kind of stop and take it in. Do you remember where you found this motto, first off?
No, it certainly isn't my original. I lifted it from someone, and I cannot remember who it was, but it was someone smart, but it wasn't like your typical, like an Instagram therapist or something, but not the holistic therapist. So it was somebody smart. But it's kind of the stoic thing in a way, and it's also a survival kit, I think. And that is, it's very simple. It's just feel it, don't feed it. So in other words, feel your feelings, feel sad for the people of Venezuela, feel whatever it is you feel, but don't obsess. Don't feed it by making it the core of your day. It's not good for you. Empathy is great. Sympathy, I think, maybe gets you into a little bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm just taking it in as you're saying it because it is wise. It also really resonates with me because, I got caught up in all of the back and forth on my own Facebook page the other day. I wasn't posting exactly about Venezuela, but what I said was I was so tired of having people mansplain to me that Maduro is a bad person. I think, how can it be that we are supposed to hold one singular thought and not go, yes, that's true, and, that you can't just throw out the rule of law to get him out of the country. It's just,
right.
That's the problem.
A weird thing came to mind when you were talking about that, about, there are two things can be true at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Dahmer, horrible, awful serial killer, terrible creep, whatever,
Yes.
is sent to prison and is murdered in prison. To me, that was kind of the same thing. Like, okay, I don't particularly want this guy sharing our air, being treated well in any manner, but do you want convicted criminals carrying out your justice? No. And to me, it was kind of the same thing. It's not empathy or sympathy for Jeffrey Dahmer, but it's, geez, you don't want some guys taking it into their own hands and deciding what's right and what's not.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt about the whole Venezuela thing, like you're saying. Maduro's a bad guy. It doesn't mean you just waltz in and say, we're taking him out.
It all feeds into, too, what shows up in our social media. And this is something that we really can't talk about enough because we are of an age, and I don't think it's just the Generation Jones, but certainly the generations that came before us believed that if it was written out or if it came from what we used to think was a believable media source, then it was true. But that's no longer the case. And I think of our grandkids. I think of your littles, your little sister Tabitha and her two sweet children, and our grandkids growing up in this age of not knowing what is real.
Right. One of the things Tabitha has been doing, and Nick, her partner, is limiting their time online. And I find the less time I spend online, the less time I have to worry about it because it is everywhere. You don't know what's an ad. Everything's called breaking news.
Oh, my God, yes. That's so stupid.
Exactly. Some idiot in his basement and somewhere in Arkansas is going, breaking. Oh, yeah. You know it first, buddy? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's so pervasive. It's really an uphill battle, but at least we can try.
We can try. You and I like to think that we're a little bit more savvy when it comes to seeing what's fake and what's real. We've both been sucked into it before. We've talked about that too. And it occurred to me that after a long and drawn-out conversation with somebody on my Facebook page who called herself Judith, and I went and looked, and she lives in, Bradford or, an area around Toronto. So right away, my mind thinks, okay, she's a former listener. I'm going to treat her with respect. And then the more I looked at it, the more I thought, wait a minute, this isn't a real account. She had one friend, which I'm not saying that if you have only one friend on Facebook, that you're not a real human being, because we all measure
Right.
our connections in different ways. But that's one of the high risk signs. And a few of the others are the account is recently created.
Yeah.
If you see somebody who says first thread and then you look and it's a bunch of numbers, there's no picture, and
Mm.
often it's two first names as well. Those are true red flags. They have very few friends or thousands of friends with no interaction. Their profile photos look like they came from stock footage somewhere. Their timeline is empty or only political reposts. Their posts are disabled or comments are turned off, and their bio is vague or generic. And if they have
Mm.
photos on their site with no tags, comments, or casual friends interacting, that is also a really big tell. Now, all of this is to say that you really kind of have to do your due diligence before you let Fred Frank 97235 tell you that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You feed it rather than feeling it, deleting it, blocking it. This is, again, what you're saying.
Right. Because I don't care if Fred 976 whatever thinks that I'm an idiot. They just do not matter to me. They're not part of my life. But it's hard for some people to believe that there are people over in Africa or in India or in Quebec or wherever it is they are, Toronto, manning some of these accounts just to get a rise out of somebody or just to further a point of view and make sure that it gets out there. And it's hard to imagine that somebody would be that devious. Like, we used to be able to rely on our gut feeling about stuff out there. And you just can't anymore, because even the stuff you agree with could be absolutely fake, So it's a whole new world out there.
It really is. And the ones who are just trying to stir up engagement, whether it's with something incendiary or it's something as simple as, I hate strawberries in ice cream. What do you hate?
Yeah.
It's just like you're just trying to get responses so that you get paid for it. But what's really, really tricky is how many of these bot farms are being bought and paid for by political parties who do not have our country, especially, and our interests at heart. So we really have to look out, because I think we tend to think, oh my God, so many Canadians think this country is broken. No, they don't. It's just the proliferation of comments in your feed that say so that make you think it's so. Do a little looking, and you'll find the truth in there somewhere. Or feel it, don't feed it. That just, oh my gosh, that really is simple and profound.
Block and move on is the most wonderful thing that you can do. I put up a video a while ago, as you recall, and one guy went on there and basically called me ugly and stupid and whatever. And I laughed so hard. I thought, wow, I've got a troll finally, because I don't get much negative stuff. But me on my own, I don't have the number of followers you have. I don't have the number of eyes on me. So it's very easy for me to slip something out and get away. I did delete that video, however, though.
Why?
I don't even know why I put it up.
Oh.
It's not like me to do a negative review. I sort of used to have it was an unwritten rule that if I didn't like something, I just wouldn't talk about it. And if I liked it, I'd rave about it. And this was just Landman. It's just a TV show. It doesn't really matter. But the trolls are out there, and they're looking for us.
Well, I did find something helpful, other than having to do your due diligence and all of us turning into Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote, or whatever. Here it is. I'm on Threads. I like Threads a lot. I tried the platform Blue Sky, and there is very little interaction there, so I'm not giving it so much of my energy, because you have to figure out where you're going to put your energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I asked, and you can do this. You can block certain words. You could block MAGA. You could block, well, whatever you want. You could block potato salad if you want. Although why anyone would, I don't understand. But anyhow.
Me neither. Yeah.
Sure. And even AI on Threads. And it said, okay, you will have a break from it for 3 days. So what happened yesterday, Lisa, I saw this post from a woman who did a before and after picture of herself, 250 pounds lighter. And I thought, good for her. She's on GLP. She explained why. She explained everything that hadn't worked for her, that only 5% of dieting or changing your dietary practices without medication works, which was a big number. But I went through the comments just to see, and do you know, there was not one negative comment. And I went, okay, this is really unusual. And then the light went on, and I realized that bots had been blocked. And it was bots who were coming in and saying, you're ugly both
Right.
ways, or blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It was bots, Lisa. And I looked at another topic last night, fully expecting to see the negativity to kick in, because I will just go in there and block them. But there wasn't one. And I thought, oh my God, this is the algorithm at work. It works.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So let's move on to something that happened to me a week ago today, New Year's Day. I don't know how you started your new year, probably calmly, serenely. Mine was in a mad dash to a medical clinic.
Yes, I got a flurry of texts about it. So tell us how it went. Do you want to say why?
Well, I want to keep this kind of delicate. So here we
Okay.
go. Welcome to the brand new edition of Kind of a Celebrity Password. I'm Erin Davis, and our first guest today, Lisa Brandt. Welcome, Lisa.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here. I was never on a plane before, and it's really nice to get out of Paducah.
Nice to have you here from Paducah. All right, we are going to play Medical Password. Are you ready for your first clue?
All right.
The category is conditions that send you running to a clinic. Here is your first password. A female sheep is called a...
You.
Second password. Not coffee, but...
Tea.
And your third password for the grand prize of antibiotics. You're the apple of my...
I.
That's UTI. And you're going on to the next round, and you don't want to know what the category is.
I really don't. I think I'm done. I
Yeah.
get back on the plane and going back to Paducah.
Okay, then. All right. We don't pay for the return flight, by the way. We don't have enough coffees for that in the coffee coffer at Gracefully and Frankly, but thanks for playing Password, and here's a Schaefer pin. Okay.
So how did it go when you finally got to the clinic? How hard was it to get in?
It wasn't. I simply opened the door. I'm sorry, I'm an ass. Okay. So
If you're an ass, you gave me the wrong password.
that's
Anyway.
right. That's right. Sorry. No. That's another one. Okay. You know the feeling when you wake up in the morning and you have that intense, unbelievable pain that goes straight to the ends of your fingertips. It's unbelievable. So I came out of the bathroom and I said to Rob, oh, guess what I've got? And he guessed. And so first thing I did was I had my sister, who speaks way better Spanish than I, call City Medica. And it's a chain. They're all over the place. And Cindy called to ask if indeed they are open on New Year's Day because, hey, that's not a given, right? So she let me know
Right.
that they are. So I booked an Uber. Rob and I walked the dogs, got in the Uber, went to the clinic, got in. We had to wait for one family. Guy had a bandage on his head, so I think he probably had a pretty good New Year's Eve. And they saw me. The doctor was lovely. Her name was Michelle, and her English was better than my Spanish. So no testing, no nothing, gave me free prescriptions, took another Uber to the pharmacy. The woman filled it out, and I was better by noon. It's quite amazing. I was so relieved.
So they didn't even give you a test or anything. They just took your word for it.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
It was. And all in at the clinic, it cost about 100 Canadian. And of course, we have travel insurance, so we will end up trying to get that back. Pharmacy was also 100 because I had to get some probiotics. That's just one of the things we learned. So it was a thoroughly, I won't say enjoyable experience, but boy, I was glad Rob was down here with me to take me and to go with me because I'm not doing well out in public. And I got through it. So yay, how did your 2026 start? You know, Lisa, I should have known that this was going to be just a sort of harbinger for the year. Going to be a painful one. So there you go.
Oh, now. I don't think it's a harbinger for the year at all. In fact, you felt better pretty quickly, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, good.
But yours, like, what was yours like?
It was just like any other day, except I normally take down the Christmas tree and the decorations on New Year's Day, but because the kids were coming, we had that ice storm over the holidays, and Tabitha and Nick and the kids were coming, and then they weren't because of the ice, and then we rescheduled, and then there was more ice, so I left it up until they were able to come, and we had our little Christmas. I did the whole thing. I made the Christmas scent out of lemon and cinnamon and cloves in boiling water, and it just smelled amazing in here, and turned the clock back to Christmas.
That's wonderful. You know, we used to leave a live Christmas tree up until February when we had our cottage and we had the 2-story real Christmas tree, because as soon as we went back to work in January, I had to go on a listener trip. So we were gone for like 8-10 days, you know, the weekends around it. I loved leaving that Christmas tree up, Lisa. Anytime you can have soft, magical light in a room for longer in the midst of winter, why wouldn't we, right?
When I lived on my own in Wingham, when I was a single woman, I left my Christmas tree up until mid-April. And it was basically twigs at that time, and needles had all mostly fallen off, and it was ridiculous. It looked like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree, but that was my thing. I thought it was so funny. I'll do anything for attention back then. But anyway, not like now.
No. Do you remember when people said they were going to leave their Christmas tree up until there was a COVID vaccine?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a thing too. God, that was 6 years ago now.
That's right.
Well, we couldn't forget a few things that happened before Christmas, and I did mention buying us coffees in the password game, but hey, I hear the coffee maker. And it's Kim Burton who bought us coffees this time around.
Yay! Thank you for the 3 coffees, Kim. We totally appreciate it. It's just a wonderful delight to get a notification that someone has bought us coffees by clicking on the little coffee cup at gracefullyandfrankly.com right there on the homepage.
Yes, we appreciate each and every one. And I can't believe it. You and I are going to be drinking coffee together and in person as of this Monday.
It's unbelievable. It was so far away, and then boom, here we are. So yeah, I'm on my way.
I can't even express the excitement I felt on Tuesday when you and I were trying to decide when we're going to do our Facebook Live down here from Nuevo Vallarta, from the house that I'm renting here with our dogs and occasional visits from my husband. Rob won't be here to help us with it when you come.
Right.
And you told me the day you were leaving, I thought you were only here for 10 days, but you're staying for 2 glorious weeks.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. We're going to have fun.
We are. But mostly we're just going to talk and get caught up on stuff, including some Netflix things. But have we decided on a date for a Facebook Live so people can put it in their phones and laptops and even paper calendars right now?
Okay, so the second Thursday that I'm there. So the 22nd?
Yes.
Does that sound right? The 22nd of January, yes.
Sure. And we'll make it at 8 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. Facebook Live with Lisa and Aaron on location on the 22nd of January. Okay. I'm so excited about that. But, I'm just excited to be seeing you.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Just to be in the same room. It's funny, even though we talk easily and all that kind of stuff, it's different when you're together. So I look forward to it.
Me too. And in the meantime, I'm trying to do what one of the big newspapers said we're supposed to do to get our sleep regulated for 2026.
It's consistency, right?
Yes. Okay. Fill me in on this.
Okay, so a health expert talking to the New York Times, a sleep expert, is actually from the University of Ottawa talking to the New York Times, and he said that the one thing that will change everything, the most neglected part of sleep, he says, is the consistency of your sleep schedule. So that means maintaining the same bedtime and wake-up time, give or take 30 minutes. And that includes weekends, and that's what makes it hard for many people, is how regimented do you want to be every day of your life, right?
Right.
But we do it here. But I think it's easier when you get a little older and, we're not going out to parties as much and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and having to get up, like you still do, but I did all those years getting up at 3:30 in the morning to go to work. And my freedom, especially when I drank, was staying up until midnight Friday night and then midnight or 1 a.m. Saturday into Sunday and then having to do
Yeah.
that turnaround. It really, really did me no favors. And you have always been far more disciplined at that.
But I also did that a lot of times too, because it would be like shaking off the shackles of,
Yes.
of work. And it did feel free. Maybe working from home makes a difference, being a little bit older, but we go to bed early and read. By early, I mean 8:30 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we both read for an hour or more. And we're both up early. I get up at 4:30 and I find I don't need a nap. I don't get tired, and we're just different. But
Yeah.
I would love to be able to sleep in. So if you could teach me how. Oh, no, wait, it's supposed to be consistent. Wait.
Right. Yeah. So consistency is the key. Do they say why?
Yeah, because apparently studies are showing that those who deviate from a consistent sleep schedule have a higher risk of all the biggies: cardiovascular disease, obesity, mental health issues, dementia. It's one of those things that apparently improves your health if you do it. Just maintain the same schedule. And when you think back to people, okay, let's think back to before the Industrial Revolution. I mean, if you're a
yes.
farmer, right?
Yeah.
Let's think back to that, Aaron, because that's what Gracefully and Frankly is about.
Yes.
But if you were a farmer, you would be 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Pretty much doing the same thing. The cows still need to eat. Everything else needs to be done. So anyway, let's not even get into the fact that you weren't diagnosed with sleep apnea and died at 43. But anyway, it was the consistent sleep that helped at that time.
Okay. Something else to work on, and you can do it in your sleep. That's one of the easier things for 2026.
And you can do it on an Envy pillow,
Yes,
too.
thank you.
Make sure you get your Envy pillow under your head if you want your spine to be aligned. If you have a neck problem like I do, where there's pain from a couple of previous car accidents, and because of the way the pillow curves and the fact that it's natural latex, not memory foam, but it has the same sort of qualities to it in the way it supports your neck, it squishes with your head and then bounces back up. So you get a whole new pillow again in the morning.
It's wonderful. It truly is. And you can borrow Rob's while you're here or bring your own.
Yay!
Yeah, bring your own. It probably has your essence on it instead. But check it out. Go to Envy, ENVYpillow.com. Support a Canadian company. Please, we're all elbows up. And that gets tiring. So have a good sleep on an Envy pillow, won't you? And use the code GIA for 10% off. So while you're here, Lisa, we're going to be catching up on a few shows that I've been holding off watching with you. But because you don't have Apple, I went ahead and watched the latest season of Severance. Rob and I did last week.
Yeah. I watched the first one and we're kind of missing the second one. Was it good or not?
Oh, it was great. And I'll watch it again with you if you want. But here's the problem. Episodic TV has turned into such a slog that it felt to me like doing homework, like I had an assignment to watch the second season, because I don't remember what happened 2 weeks ago on a TV show that I left on the PVR at home. Never mind something that was out 2 years ago or 3
Right.
even. And
Yeah.
we ended up watching on YouTube some guy who went through a 35-minute recap of the whole first season. Thank goodness. So that we
Oh.
could pick it up 3 years later. It's insane.
Yeah, when I'm thinking about it now, I think of little bits and pieces, but I don't remember exactly what happened in the last episode. So yeah, that would be helpful. It is a slog.
And same thing happened with the morning show, also on Apple, so you don't watch that. But now we just finished up the third season and we have to wait 2 more years. I don't even know if I'm going to be here in 2 years, Lisa.
None of
Jeez.
us does.
No, exactly.
We've been watching shows that are off the air, so we can stop one season and start the next right away.
Right. Things like The Mentalist or shows like that. I'm thinking of going back and watching Mad Men again,
Right. We watched Bones. We never watched it when it was on the air, and now we're in season 6 already.
Bones. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you asked me if I'd watched a movie on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we did. And we should talk about it.
Jay Kelly with Adam Sandler and George Clooney, two people I would not think of as putting in the same film. But Adam Sandler's become such a tour de force, a guy who can do anything, drama as well as comedy. We used to think he was just kind of a goof with a guitar, but not so much.
That's right. And in this, Clooney plays an aging actor who is estranged from his two daughters. He's not exactly at the end of his career, but he's noticing that maybe he didn't have his priorities straight, but he's so narcissistic and so caught up in being Jay Kelly. And Adam Sandler is his manager. He's his gopher. He's his right-hand man. He's always been there for him. And Sandler is a father who's realizing that he has priorities at home as well. And this is all shot in Europe, mostly Italy. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I wasn't sure if I was ready to like George Clooney again because, his whole coming out about Joe Biden really kickstarted things. And whether or not you thought that that was the right thing for him to do, it changed the course of the American elections. So there are a lot of people who have canceled Clooney. I watched the film. I enjoyed the film very much. And mostly it gave me insight into what it's like to be such a level of fame that not only are you acting on screen, but you have to act like the actor when you're not on screen so that people see you as that person. And when do you ever get to be your real self?
Right. And giving up on priorities that maybe would have given him a richer life in order to be that wealthy, famous guy.
Yeah.
It really was well done, and it was so different. And I've been noticing in shows and movies lately that they don't make a big deal about transitioning in time.
Yes.
It just happens,
Yeah.
It can just be a cut, like an edit. There's no blah, 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 or anything. And in this one, he literally walks from the present into the past, and it's just so beautifully done. We really loved it.
We did too. Oh,
yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this, and this is not a spoiler, but towards the end when he's sitting in a theater and there's a whole montage of moments from Jay Kelly's career. Of course, they're clips of George Clooney's career. Clooney's emotional reaction to it was because he was seeing it on the screen for the first time.
No kidding. I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow. So they didn't tell him that's what they were going to do. Wow.
Right. And when he reaches over and touches Adam Sandler's hand, that all just happened. It all just happened.
Wow.
It's a magical moment in the film. So that's Jay Kelly on Netflix, and we recommend it. I think I'm still going to ponder your words. Feel it, don't feed it.
Yeah, the words I stole from someone. Yes,
Well,
okay.
that's okay. Yeah. You're not Mel Robbins. You're not doing a whole podcast and series, and now she's doing wellness products.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Protein shots or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a shill. But anyway, I know if I take something from someone, I want them to have full credit, but I wish I knew their name.
Yeah. Well, if you can overthink the worst, why not overthink the best? That's another way to look at it.
Right. And I watched a video from this woman just today who is a celebrity stylist, and she's around all sorts of celebrities. And she said, I've found one thing in common is that they are unendingly positive about their ambitions. And if something goes bad, they just go, oh, well, on to the next thing. It's going to work. And she said it's universal. It doesn't matter who the person is. They become famous and successful. And really, what they're asking for is more of our attention. They're all using this positive, it's going to work out, we've got this. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, well,
Nothing.
I would say in her case, it's worked for all those people in her makeup chairs. And because they're the stars, there's the 99% who don't make it that she never runs into because they're not getting their makeup done. That's cynical.
That is very cynical.
Yeah.
Because if she's seeing this through line through all these different people that she has met, singers, actors, stage performers, lion tamers, and they all have this characteristic. Even J-Lo, look at her. She's the ultimate optimist. She keeps getting married. So
Yeah.
This one's going to work out. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting because she's been doing this 25 years and found this. So I'll take it.
Okay. Here's something else you could take to feel it and then feed it. This is a little bit of a twist on that because we're talking about the pain in people's knees. Last week, Lisa, we were looking at why cold hurts your joints, and it's the synovial fluid in your joints because it gets thick. You know, it's like the oil in winter truck commercials. It just gets thick and everything doesn't run as well. We need all the help we can get. And Sierra Sil is there. There's no theories behind it. It's science. It's fact. It's tested again and again and again, more than even the Canadian government demands. And it works. Read the testimonials. Hear from people like me, from Rob. You can't hear from our dogs, but our elderly dogs certainly found differences with the Sierra Sil pet shoes that they were on. So go to the website and look at what they are. We tend to cheap out when it comes to ourselves. Oh, those multivitamins are so expensive. Or, oh, I can't take that because it's the cost of a latte a day or something, or even less. But in this case, it's worth it. And it even comes with a money-back guarantee, this anti-inflammatory Canadian product, Sierra Sil.
If it doesn't work for you in 14 days, your money back. Check them out at sierrasil.com, Sierra like the mountains, SIL.com. Use the GF code to get 14% off your purchase.
Well, we can't end this show without, of course, this week in Totally Stupid or... Twits. All right, over to you.
You have heard of, no doubt, the cabbage diet.
Yes.
And, all grapefruit diet and all of these other diets. Have you heard of the all sardine diet?
Like, is it the Mediterranean diet where you're in Sardinia? No?
No, you eat only sardines. So this scientist gave it a shot because he wanted to see if it would work and put you into ketosis, which it did. So it's kind of a keto diet, but it's sardines only. And then he found he wasn't getting much energy, so he added olive oil to his oily sardines and then found he was getting energy. But the number one problem with this, one, you have to eat only sardines. He lost 6 pounds in a month, and he said his blood was more like a dolphin's than a human's. Had so much omega-3 in it.
Okay.
But the other thing was his girlfriend distanced herself from him, so he started taking note of how often she refused his kisses. And it ended up being, it got worse and worse and worse. I guess he smelled like a fish. But apparently this is not completely unheard of, that there are some people who do keto this way, Erin. All sardines just to lose some weight. Yeah.
I promise not to do that when you come. I promise. I don't have a sardine in the house.
I promise you won't do it ever because I will email Rob and beg him to please hold you down and put some cheese in your mouth or something so you vary that diet. That's ridiculous.
Oh, my God, the all sardine diet. But to be fair, the cats in the neighborhood must have just loved him. Jeez. And he always was waiting with bated breath. Well, the next time we're together, we'll be recording in the same house. You are flying here from Hamilton on Monday. I pray to God, Lisa, you are not on one of those WestJet flights with the new seating arrangement.
I'm done with WestJet. Do you know, when I saw that viral video of the woman with the tiny seat area, that's what I was in on my way to Calgary. And I was trying to explain it to people, saying when the woman put her seat back an inch, I couldn't move. And I don't think people believe me until this woman's video went viral. And you see how little room she has. They've reconfigured their planes. I'm done with them. Done. I'm flying Porter.
Oh, I love you. I love Porter. And I'm even going to take the Uber and meet you at the airport. So don't take a ride from strange men.
Oh, all right.
No matter how handsome they are.
I will see you soon.
You will. And don't forget to go to gracefullyandfrankly.com. All kinds of neat stuff there for you. Join us at our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page. And of course, on January 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be doing a Facebook Live. All right. Talk to you next week, Lisa. In person.
You bet.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.